All right, so let's go ahead and start our pour. So we have the Sassy red. Well, it might be strawberry, really. And I'm gonna pour this all around the edge. I didn't do anything, mica powder or anything to my edge, but I think it comes out pretty the way it is. This is also a holographic mold, so that adds a little something extra to this. And I'm just pouring along the edge. If it goes up on the edge, that's good. If it doesn't, that's all right. Next, we have our tangerine, and I'm just gonna pour that in the center. I got a good bit in there. Might have a little of this left over because I don't want to run out of room, which I do sometimes. Saving my push, gonna take my white. I have a piping bag and a cup. The piping bag's an 8-inch piping bag. You can get them from Amazon or Temu or wherever you want. I pour my white in. Scrape the sides to make sure I get all of it. I never know how much it's gonna take. If I get a little bit crazy with dotting, then I might need a little bit more. Lift it up out of my cup. Twist. Now, we're not waiting for this to warm, so it's going to be very liquidy. So it's gonna drop out of here. I'm gonna put a very small slit in the top. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start my dotting. I'm gonna start from the outside going in, and I'm just gonna let the drops fall out. See, I'm doing them a little far apart. I didn't mean to do it that far apart, but we'll slowly fill those in. And of course, speed up if you want to until we get to our push. And try to alternate a little bit, although with this design, it's not as important as with the fireworks. The fireworks, you'll look like you have one long firework or burst, whereas with this, they all seem to come together and layer, so it's not as important. I find that I don't have to be as precise when doing this. All right, now that we have the one layer down, I'm gonna go ahead and do the push of the light yellow. And I haven't decided whether I'm doing 2 pushes yet or 1. As long as we go pretty fast, I think I might be able to do 2. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. All right. Hopefully this plan works out. And now I'm gonna start in the center. And I'm gonna go back and dot all the way through the whole thing again. It's a little harder to see this time because I didn't do as big of a push. And in the center, I'm not putting the dots as close together, even though I do see I need to add some. And now as the resin's warming up, I'm having to squeeze a little to put the dots down. All right, I think I have enough dots in there now. So let's go ahead and push through our second push. And I don't know that I'm gonna use all of it. I don't really want a huge center, but I'm afraid I won't get the effect. So I'm going to push a little and then give up and say no more pushing. All right. Lastly, I'm going to add some little stones. And I've got some red ones, some Sassy red ones. And I'm going to use 1/3 of this little scoop and just put them in the center. And then I'm going to just give them a little shove to make them go down and in. And then I've got my heat gun. Usually when you put something, drop some stones or something down in the center, there's air bubbles that develop and they come up and you see there's a little bubble there. You just give it a little shot of heat and it goes away. So I'll watch it for a little bit for air bubbles. Another one. Give it a little shot of heat and go. That was probably a little too hot in that one spot. Make sure you move it around. Don't burn your molds. I ended up buying 4 more molds because I burned 2. You know, you always need more molds. So just give it a quick little. All right, and we will be back when it's unmolding time. Hey gang, we are back to see how this turned out. It's been unmolded, but I wanted to show you that one I did earlier that I did like, but I didn't like how the center was full, but I loved the petals on this one. So I can see where a second pour might be helpful. So to remind you, we didn't do a second pour on this one. So let's see how it turned out. Oh, See, it's completely different. But I do think it has some of the characteristics that I liked in that other one. The petals on the outside are a little lighter, but the center kind of looks like a rose. I think it came out really great. What do you guys think?